say.
You want to comment on Harry Thomas Jr.? He's going to prison, I think, June 20th or about then. His theft of money that was intended for children. I'm not sure how strongly you could say anything.
Well, I mean, I'll say two things. Three.
You served with his father, didn't you?
Yes, I did. He sat right next to me. And I loved him dearly.
I'd love to hear those conversations repeated, but go ahead.
No,
Harry Thomas Jr.
I'm wild about Harry. That was his name, okay? That's the saying. Harry Thomas Jr. I've known since he was a young boy. And again, I feel great disappointment about this. I'm surprised. I'm hurt. I've known his mother, but if Harry stole that money, and he did steal the money, he ought to go to jail. And I wish him best while he's there, but yeah, you're damn right he ought to go to jail. And he stole it from a bunch of kids, and he never should have done that, and he held himself out as helping children. The hypocrisy I find shocking, and it angers me.
Back to the topic we started out discussing at the beginning, based on the activities that people in the Gray campaign have now admitted to participating in, how do you feel about the legitimacy of his administration? You were chairperson of the campaign for the candidate he defeated. Now we found that there were some, if you will, dirty tricks going on in the campaign. How do you feel that affects the legitimacy of the Gray administration?
I think it does affect the legitimacy. I think it raises a real question about whether or not they legitimately won an election. Let me just say, the little things that we know about what these people did was illegal. Any of them by themselves, I don't think changed the election, probably, that we know of. But what I will say this about it. If the voters had known that the Gray campaign was engaged in illegal activity, and if the voters had known that while running on a platform of integrity, they were actually engaged in illegal activity, a lot of people would not have voted for Mr. Gray. And that might have made a difference in the election. So that's number one about how it affects the legitimacy of it. The second thing I think is everybody's got to keep in mind, in elections, what's important is a free flow of information. And we believe that if the voters have a chance to learn about you, they can make an informed decision. Well, in this case, they were not given an opportunity to know certain things. And if they had known that people in that Gray administration, people of office, were acting corruptly, they would have known they are likely to be corrupt when they come into office. And lo and behold, what happened? As soon as the Gray people went into office, we had other allegations of corruption.
The jobs of the family members getting the Fenty campaign, in fact, put out very tough advertisements, essentially saying we'd go back to the worst parts of the Barry era should Vince Gray win. And people were saying, no, Vince Gray is not like that. Vince Gray means well. He's got a good record, and yes, some old line Washingtonians will be back in power with him, but they're going to do something. They're going to be more friendly because Adrian, of course, stopped talking to everybody in the city. But it seems a lot of people are saying that Fenty campaign warning is come true, that it's not the Barry era corruption, but it's certainly the Barry era style of corruption.
Well, without comparing it to Barry, we did raise a concern that we would have some illegal activity, nepotism, cronyism, fraudulent activity, and we've had all of that.